contest is scheduled for one fall, and it is for the World Heavyweight
Podcast.
NEEERRRDS!
Entering the ring at this time, your tag team champions of the podcast world, Howard Farewell.
But we're just waiting for the wheels to fall off. Yes, 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 yes. Get rid of your six-sided ring array.
Josh Rivera.
God does not want this podcast to happen.
You happy I brought my shovel to bury this segment?
What station is it again? Who gives a fuck?
Yabba dabba, shut the fuck up.
The World Heavyweight Podcast.
Giant Buster. Welcome, everyone. Is this going on forever? Is this the one that I have to choose the volume to again?
Maybe. It can go on forever.
It could go on.
We're back.
We gotta pull that down a little bit.
Billies are full of food. We're in a good mood.
Speak for yourself. I've got some issues that I have to deal with still.
Oh, damn it.
Welcome to the World Heavyweight Podcast. At the WHPC on Twitter, Facebook.com/World Heavyweight Podcast, World Heavyweight Podcast.podbean.com. Why do I have a feeling like everything else is low around here all of a sudden? After everything looked like it was perfect, now it's looking like moderate hot garbage over there. But I don't know. Now we're doing the show. It's not raw, so I don't know. We'll get there.
The show is called Raw, not Refined.
Boo. Boo. No one likes you, Josh.
More than you.
Yeah, that might be why. I think I had something clicked over. Whatever. Welcome to the World Heavyweight Podcast. I'm Howie Farewell. That's Josh Rivera. Your damn it. I'm running on like 8 screens. That's what we're hitting all the points. I'm just going to go right to her. We also have Lola joining us again at Lola_Bradbury on Twitter. Follow her there for all of her moderately I don't know when you're updating things anymore. Are you there?
Well, yeah, I'm here.
There she is. There we go. Guess she's not going to say anything, huh?
Yeah, my internet's been so screwed all day. But yeah, things have been a little hectic with personal things, but I'm trying to get back into the swing of doing my Periscope updates. No real schedule for those right now, but I do live tweet every Monday, Tuesday, sometimes Thursday for Impact, depending on how badly it pisses me off.
Wow, jeez.
You're like, where the hell is EC3?
I want my six-sided pizza.
Right?
This show is off to a bang-up start there, eh, Joshua?
Wouldn't have it any other way.
Pay-per-view this week, so we've got Stone Cold Locks coming up. If I even want to watch I almost don't want to watch this pay-per-view.
You do want to watch the show. Shut up. You're going to watch the show.
No, I'm going to. Thank God for SmackDown. Because if it wasn't for SmackDown, I might be quitting wrestling for a while. I'm not anyway. In other news outside of all the WWE stuff that we have to talk about, which is SmackDown, hooray. Hooray. That gets a big, huge. But then we get...
Well, I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
On the Raw side of things, because that's...
I thought you wanted to go outside of WWE.
I'm just saying, that's why I'm making sure I get some sound clips in here, because I felt like I wanted to actually produce the show for a little bit, okay?
Okay.
How about that? But what do we have? We have a couple of big things from the outside news world sort of thing, I guess we can talk about. So apparently... we'll reference the pizza gimmick thing that we were just talking about. Impact Pizza apparently is a thing.
Yeah, you're familiar with the Bound for Glory pay-per-views coming up?
Yes.
It's in Ottawa, Canada.
Right.
And just kind of like WWE, very cleverly marketed the hell out of that KFC Georgia. Woo!
Woo! Gold! Crispy! Woo!
Crunchy! Woo!
Georgia Gold! Woo!
Tell them Ric Flair sent you.
Not actually Ric Flair.
for the Southpaw regional stuff. So Impact is doing has got a sponsor for the Bound for Glory show and the 5 nights of TV tapings
In Ottawa.
In Ottawa. So they got
What do you see what you're saying? It's like, what is this, 1985?
yeah, there's who really does, like, it worked for Southpaw because it's Southpaw.
Right.
And they're like, no. We're really doing a pizza sponsorship for this pay-per-view, for this live pay-per-view.
Pay-per-view.
And TV tapings.
Not just like one of their smaller shows that they're doing in a secondary city. No, they're WrestleMania type show.
Their biggest one of the year.
It's like a pizza party.
It's so 80s, but you know
get
what?
some 6-sided pizza.
Yeah, exactly. but you know what? If it was Toronto, where it should have been, and things were like that would be something I would be willing to check out and get some 6-sided pizza. Just so stupid.
If it's bland,
No, go ahead, go.
actual promos that are cut by Taryn Terrell, then there'd be a problem.
The only thing I remember of Taryn Terrell is her in a thing with Gail Kim when she was a ref and all of her hair extensions falling out like somebody was pulling out stuffing from a bear. Like she was shaking her head and then it was just like foo, 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 and just all over the place like somebody was like shaving a Barbie doll.
I'm glad you remember because I was that was not when I was watching.
No.
So she shows up and I'm like,
No.
I don't know you.
I don't know you.
What is this, the Big Titty Brigade? Because every time she comes out for a promo, this happened last week. They had a Knockouts promo where it was Terrell, not so much Kim or Sienna, but it was Terrell and Allie show up with wearing basically underwear. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
It's so don't get me wrong. When I first started watching Impact, I was like, okay, I can tolerate this. But then you have Taryn Terrell coming out like she's dressed mixed with Claire's and Victoria's Secret.
Yeah.
And you lose.
Yeah, I don't know.
Very scantily clad wrestling gear.
Like I said, it almost didn't even make sense when I saw her in there because she was just a ref that made a bad call that ended up getting into this thing with Gail Kim, and then all of a sudden she's apparently the longest reigning TNA Knockouts champion of all time.
Gail?
Taryn Terrell.
Oh, Taryn Terrell.
Yeah.
Oh.
She's got the longest title reign of all Knockouts.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I read that. Like I'm wrong about a lot of things sometimes, but I'm pretty sure I'm
heard it first here, folks.
Hey, I'm not undefeated in rock, so
you'll admit it more than I do. That's for sure.
I'm pretty sure she is. I could be wrong. Why does it feel like I've got like a limiter on my thing, which is dumb? But anyway,
we need to limit this. Awesome.
We need to limit this episode. So that's So TNA is doing their biggest show of the year in Ottawa, which I hope they sell it out.
Yeah.
Because we were saying the other day, it's like they don't really have the they don't have the audience that they used to, right?
Absolutely do not. Like they did a couple live shows over the summer in New York, wherever the fuck it was, and I understand they got the baseball stadium in Brooklyn where the Cyclones play, probably because it's fairly cheap when they're not there, but. Yeah, you're not gonna fill that thing. You're not gonna fill some venues with more than a few hundred people. You haven't toured in years.
Well, but the thing I was saying was rather than try and get some of these big arena venues that they've been trying to get on some of these shows, sell out the smaller space.
Yeah, it's really
if you know you're only gonna get like 1,500. Get enough. Get the smaller space. Pack that shit out and make it look amazing. Because you can't do those big arenas like you used to do even 5 years ago. Like 5 years ago,
if you need notes, just do what Ring of Honor is doing. They'll book small venues repeatedly every year, but they'll pack it out. They'll fill it with standing room. You won't. you won't see the back of you won't see the way they shoot it. You really don't see much of the back of the arena. They rely heavily on arena style seating, with the levels, and so it looks full. And if it's a
make the
scenario where
small
it may
place
not
look real full and loud, because if you have, I'd rather sell out a 1,500 seat spot instead of half full 10,000 seater.
Exactly.
Because it looks like crap, as the Chargers and the Rams will let you know.
Yeah, when a city goes,
oh boy,
when a city goes,
LA's got football fever,
what was
folks.
it 20, 25 years of no football? Now they got 2 teams,
and no one cares.
No one gives a shit.
Speaking of football, we'll get into that next because we jumped all around, but I had to go into Impact Pizza. I somehow lost again this week. I don't know how, but I lost by 6 points again.
Yep.
Again.
Yep.
And I hate losing to other Josh because his team's not that good. We're both 2-4 now. Look at how many points 4 I have for the entire year. It's
you have that many points.
At 7, I have almost 800 points on the season.
And you're 5th.
Yeah, I am the second. I have the second highest point total of the league, and I have 2 wins. Well, and. Good for the people that are at the bottom of this league, because 2 wins gets you in the playoffs. Ask about me. We really need to ask about them because that's 0-6 again. Lost by 2 points this week. At least it's getting closer. At least it's getting closer.
Almost squeaked out a victory.
Because the week before it was 88. It's not good.
What was that current week that he almost won by? Where does that go?
This week, right here.
Really? Captain Fatbelly only put up 97 points?
Yeah.
Wow.
Rough. You know what? We got bye weeks and stuff happening, so I don't really know what happened there. Oh, no, wrong one. Sorry. I'm clicking back at all of it. Yeah, 146 to 142 for me this week. I had freaking Emmanuel Sanders not broken his leg in the third quarter or whatever the hell happened to him, I would have been all right. The house crushes Aurora. Just his team showed up, and Aurora is starting to get into factory of sadness mode. I think she's almost quitting. But that's the thing. If you put up, you can get W's. Stick it out. You're not out of it. You have one more win than some other people in this league. You're barely out on the outside looking in. If Glorious 11 lost this week, Aurora would probably be in 6th place. But because he beat me, there's a tie for 5th and 6th. The house is standing alone at 4th. Or not standing alone. No, it's the house in New Face of America at 4-2, and then Captain Fatbelly and Nerds for Brawn. Nerds for Brawn taking his first L of the season this week in a rather tight one as well. Stop taking so long, damn it, to go back to the thing that I was just on. God damn it. Well, that's the football roundup. You pretty much got the bases there.
Broken.
Yeah, I got another trade that I'm probably going to decline because I don't want to give the house more points. I'm 2. I should at least be 500 with the amount of points that I'm putting up, and it's getting fucking ridiculous.
Kind of like this season.
I'm probably going to make. Here's my saving grace for this. Is I have the points every week, so I'm hoping for consistency. At the worst, I'm going to make the playoffs and hopefully make a deep run. That's what I'm hoping for, because when people get into the playoffs, some of their guys, they just start sitting. Fucking 795 points is driving me crazy. Anyway, there goes football. We're done with football.
Is the tea ready yet?
Is the what?
Is the tea ready yet?
What?
For those who are not as engaged during the football segment.
Oh,
yes.
Whatever, dude.
That's funny, though.
We have 7 people who are involved.
Your woes amuse me quite a bit.
We have 7 other people that are involved because they're part of the league.
Uh-huh.
Right?
Part of the league.
They are.
Yeah.
Captain Fatbelly is 6-0. I have no idea how the hell that's working out because he should be getting crushed every couple of weeks here. And there's just some weeks I'm like, I don't know how you're winning. I just don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me. This week I've got Nerds for Brawn, so it doesn't look any better for me. It's already, even the projections are sitting there like 147, 109. Son of a bitch.
Some of the projections are saying, well, there's always next season.
Hey, and Aurora has asked about me, so there could be your second win.
Could be.
Right? Could find yourself right up into 6th place.
Could be.
If Glorious 11 just chokes on another sandwich again, you know.
Sandwich.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm tired. Shut up.
Impact Pizza.
Anyway, Ring of Honor New Japan had their nice little pay-per-view this weekend that you guys saw and I didn't. So I'm just gonna sit over here while you guys talk about it.
Throw it to
Go
you.
sit in the corner.
I'm just gonna sit right over here. So what do the people need to know from that show?
Oh, that's freaking awesome.
Yes, so much. It's everything you could have hoped for in a Ring of Honor pay-per-view times a million times a wet dream. Like, it was fantastic.
Sorry, it caught me off guard while I was drinking my beer.
Oh, jeez. What did I miss? I'll tell you what you missed. I missed the opening, but I had to go back and I saw on, I think it was on Facebook, the actual cell phone footage of Cody taking a selfie with a quote fan with a lucha mask on who then revealed himself to be Dalton Castle's back from injury.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is definitely true.
It was the moment that he came in from the crowd, I recognized the arms and I lost my mind.
Someone's-
Oh my God, he's back! I don't know if you saw they did post a promo on Facebook afterwards where he goes where it was just the best friends just go, "Hey Dalton, what's going on, man?" He's like, "Oh hey, nice to see you guys. Oh out there earlier? Yeah, I just wanted to congratulate Cody on getting signed. I also got signed to another year too, so I'll be using that time to be beating his ass."
Yes.
Perfect. Exactly what he needed to hear, and that's something to look forward to.
Peacock Boy's back.
What was your what was your favorite match of the night? That's the hard question, Lola.
Oh, it has to be. Well, first of all, it has to be a tie between undoubtedly the Ospreay Flip Gordon match and Serpent Joy versus the Bucks, Adam Page, or not? Yeah, Hangman
that
Adam,
8-man.
Page and Cody Rhodes. Those were my two big matches of the night.
Absolutely. I have to say the Flip Gordon Ospreay match was like last year's. I think it was last year's Ricochet Ospreay match that the
Best of
internet
the
was
Super
just buzzing
Juniors.
about forever. This is the match to buzz about for a rematch. Absolutely.
Were there any other titles on the line for that show, or just a bunch of like showcase matches essentially?
It was a bunch of showcase matches. I don't think there were there. No, the only title on the line was a IWGP United States Championship match.
Which I heard Kenny forgot the belts.
Was that really? Is that
I don't
really
know.
what
I don't know what it
forgot
was.
He's just like, whoops.
I don't know.
There's some people bitching on the internet like, oh my God, how you gonna have a title match with no belt? I'm
I
like,
agree. I kind of agree. It's a
I
little
mean,
nitpicky, but I agree.
Hey, Delta means don't expect luggage to arrive. That could have very well been what happened traveling to Columbus to Chicago. Whoops. Well, that's insured. I guess I'll call Japan afterwards. They're not going to be too. They're not going to be too happy.
The thing,
How was the Yano Colt match?
Well, we were talking about that briefly earlier. It was a great comedy match. That probably I think a lot of people were just complaining that it went longer than they thought it was, but it was exactly what it needed to be. It was it was a couple goofballs trying to one up each other, and especially with the DVD. You remember the DVD trade in the very beginning, because Cole has his own DVD now, and they go, oh yeah, let's trade, yeah. So they trade, and then Yano just chucks Colts into the crowd. So he does the same thing, and they're like, well, I don't know, I kind of need that DVD. Let's go get it. And then they both just leave the ring to go retrieve each other's DVDs. Yano, the smart one, gets it, and then he goes, wait, what am I doing? 40 yen, anybody got money? And he just sold it on the spot and stuffed the cash in his trunks. That's exactly what it needed to be.
Yeah.
I don't know why people hate it. There was people on Twitter just being like, oh, why do they keep booking Colt? Because it's hilarious.
and he needs to not be on. I love Colt Cabana on commentary, but if they would decide to have Colt wrestle again, I'm totally okay with BJ Whitmer replacing him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
BJ Whitmer's a dick.
Are you kind of on the fence about whether or not you would have him wrestle more or just stay on commentary?
Well, I thought about that too, because I was super surprised when they stuck him on commentary. He's a great talker, sell the matches, but the thing is, I kind of like Boom Boom Colt Cabana seeing him wrestle, and I really feel, and I hope we get it again soon, but I don't think we will. The last time we saw Colt actually on Ring of Honor television in a ring is when he reconciled with Dalton Castle after their little spat, and basically Dalton was like, "Am I worthy of you now? Do you respect me?" And they kind of made up. So I would hope to see them kind of be a tag team again further down the road.
That heel turn for Colt was a little weird. I think that might have been what might have turned a lot of people off. Or just like, oh man, Colt's a dick, and it translates great on commentary. But then to go back in the ring, I guess it was weird for some people. But you know what? I got a great catchphrase for those people. Fuck them.
Well, there you go. You heard it here, folks.
That 8-man, though.
Go fuck yourself.
I do have to agree with Will. That 8-man was just absolutely bananas. I mean, we saw, and you'll see gifs of it out there, a Meltzer on the outside with Hangman Page does his shooting star.
Oh, no.
It was a shooting star Meltzer driver on the outside that was just perfect.
Really?
I don't know what it is, but he's got the capability of hitting that move exactly the same way every time and landing on his feet. It's nuts.
I don't know, man.
Nuts.
But
I don't know.
I was so like it kind of surprised me, but it kind of didn't. Motor City Machine Guns got booed for kind of isolating Nick in the ring and kind of beating up on him.
Oh, they're giving him all the heat. Don't get me wrong. BC are in the end the fan favorites. Like you have to book them where they're the baby faces in some of these scenarios because they're gonna get cheered regardless.
Yeah.
And the heat the Machine Guns were able to get was actually quite satisfying, especially when they clear the ring and then they're all in the ring. All of a Search and Destroy's in the ring. They just turn to each other. Too sweet, me guys. They don't have a cease and desist. I don't give a shit.
But like, one thing I will say with the Search and Destroy, I do like White and Gresham in the way that they work with Motor City Machine Guns. But the one thing I will say with John Gresham, he isn't as consistent as he should be in Ring of Honor right now.
As far as what his bookings go,
yeah,
it's kind of on and off. I haven't watched ROH TV in a while, just because WWE gets hot occasionally, and that's where we're gonna. That's just where a lot of our
now.
Shut up. That's just what a lot of our. Meanwhile, you can't wait to vent.
I can't wait for SmackDown.
It's giving you something to talk about, and SmackDown is also the cherry on top. But yeah, I'm trying to get in there to watch a little more Ring of Honor TV for to see some of these guys get booked. Like I saw they had an impromptu match in between the Dogs versus One Mean Team. Yeah, it's because Kenny King is doing solo now as the TV champ.
Right.
It's Rhett Titus and Will Ferrara.
It's so
Dogs.
It's hot.
The Dogs.
It's so hot shit. It's not. It's hot.
I'm glad you said it.
Wait, hot garbage or hot or like steamy pile of shit?
She was clear the first time.
Okay, no, just making sure. Because hot shit means like, oh, yo, that shit. Some people could think that's pretty good. Sometimes I would say hot shit is a good thing. But she seems to not like it. That's fine.
That's the thing. When they stuck them together, if you watch Ring of Honor television consistently, they were on Coleman's pulpit. Basically, Caprice Coleman is running this church-like promo segment bit where he set up a church and he interviews people. And the Dogs were on last week. Oh my God, they stuck these two guys together, and they're basically, if you give these backyard guys a camera and a couple of beers and just shooting the shit, that's what their entire thing is, and it's so bad. It's so bad.
They were kind of you feel like they were just giving the reins on. They're like, well, I don't know. Let's wing this shit.
Exactly, and the thing is, they don't. Will Ferrara looks like he was adopted in the Big Brother program by Rhett Titus.
He is tiny.
He is a small man.
Yes. He's
been getting better though. He's good. I like him. like Will Ferraro.
I like Will Ferraro too. It's just the gimmick of the team doesn't make a ton of sense.
All right.
And I think we all are looking for the same thing, and that is the payoff between Will Ferraro and Cheeseburger, which has been just going on for months now.
Oh, there's a thing.
Oh yeah, they were a tag team.
Yeah.
Remember, we saw them in Philly.
Oh, I didn't realize they were tag team.
They ended up splitting up when Ferraro turned on Cheeseburger. Cheeseburger teamed with has been teaming with a couple different guys. On this show was with Kushida, and we all want to see.
Oh, I'm sorry. Taco Bell's
are
fighting
you okay
back.
there?
Taco Bell's fighting back.
You gotta like.
Oh boy.
I'm not gonna sit here and promote T-Bell, but man, the one by you is just trash.
Ugh.
It's trash.
Yeah.
You gotta stop going there.
Oof, that one was tough. I burped.
You're
And I
gonna-
felt like that was gonna be like I thought you might be able to smell that. It was like
No, you-
tacos and sadness.
Oh, boy.
Now, what Will Ferraro and Rhett Titus felt like.
What are we doing here?
Anyway,
Brett Titus
let's
is like, I
move
never
on.
shoulda gave up for contract.
Because we kind of just jumped right into this because I never end up starting these things the way I want to with any sort of plan, I guess. I met Chris Jericho the other day, and it was awesome.
Good for you.
Yeah, exactly. Shut up. I can't, like, you're right,
Can
fine.
you promote it?
I don't know when it's going up.
Oh, okay, yes.
But we had a bunch of shows taped in New York City for the Josta show, and Monday, Chris Jericho decided to stop in the studio and talk for about an hour and a half. My only thought going in was, don't Chris Farley this. Hey, Chris.
big fan.
You remember that match that you had with Shawn Michaels? That was great.
It was awesome.
Okay, you had your Chris Jericho moment, but like I was
Certainly
telling Howie earlier, whenever shameless plug here, Renegade Wrestling Alliance Pro Wrestling out of West Newton, Pennsylvania, wink wink nudge nudge, go check him out. But a couple months ago, we had booked Matt Hardy back when he was doing the independent circuit, and the only memory I have of meeting Matt Hardy was cleaning up his half-eaten burger and fries that he left.
She has it actually in a glass case on the mantle now. It's like, if I save his DNA one day.
I think it was more like, god damn it, he's a slob. That's probably what that initial thought was.
Well, we're 30 minutes in. Shit, we got to start moving it then. SmackDown was awesome.
All right.
SmackDown, as usual, saved my wrestling life this week because, good Lord, was I angry going into Tuesday.
Man, the heat. They were just dropping. They were
They were
getting.
dropping heat.
Sorry, I said dropping heat. All the heat they were getting off of DB this week was just the lines were just really like, oh boy.
Let's just talk about how we opened SmackDown with Sami Zayn, or excuse me, Daniel Bryan, just owning the crowd because it's at home. And you couldn't tell me that crowd wasn't going to be hot fire for the entire evening because they showed up. They came to play.
Yes,
and
we get 2 of these a year. We're ready to go.
Super putting over Daniel Bryan, and they say it's like the most popular superstar maybe in the history of ever. Yeah,
he is It's hard to argue he's not the biggest star on that show right now.
And. What did you say to me? It's like, I kind of wish he would have just kept his mouth shut.
Yes. if he you found earlier a compilation clip of called Daniel Bryan Doesn't Give a Fuck. And there's just a lot of funny and goofy things he said on Talking Smack. But on top of that, he also went around saying, I can't wait to get out of this contract.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wrestle against everyone with everyone else but you again because you won't let me. That kind of buried him.
Yeah, and that's why he's not on. That's why Talking probably Smack.
That's probably why that's gone. Because
amongst him not being used as much as we would like him, because he could be used a lot more in some of these storylines, but he's not because he won't shut the fuck up and just play a little ball a little bit, and then he comes out there and they just have Sami Zayn. I said to you as they were doing this promo, like, he's coming out, he's dancing like a dick, he's singing the song a little bit, and then I'm just like, you know what? It's going to be really hard for me to boo Sami Zayn no matter what he does. And then he turns around and goes and says his things, and I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
They're making me boo Sami Zayn.
At least I'm
this
still
is really
an in-ring
good.
performer. And I'm
Yeah,
like, oh,
man.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, and then calling him Mr. Bella.
Oh, yeah. That
Ooh, just right in the ding-ding.
right in the ding-ding.
It was brutal. Like, it was just like, oh.
I think I saw Sami Zayn basically do a split and just whoop Hadouken right to his dick. might as well have.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I mean. He's fucking just every 10 seconds there for a minute. You're just like, oh, that was rough. Oh, you're hitting him again. Oh, one more? Come on. Kick him while he's down. Why don't you?
I don't care. Sammy is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And the thing is with Sami Zayn, it's people, and he basically said, the fans didn't care about me, and I'm actually taking ownership of my career. So you guys didn't hold up your end of the bargain. You guys didn't support me. And the thing is with that,
Yeah, blame us.
yeah, with the heel turn, he's logical about it. Everything makes sense, and him being a dick and being sassy and smarky, that just adds a million things onto it being freaking amazing. It's perfect.
It's the many layers of this juicy onion that is Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens as a tag team now out of nowhere.
Yeah, it's not even a tag team. It's just that they're best friends, and it's the greatest. And then at No Stick Show on Twitter encapsulated the Daniel Bryan, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens little interaction backstage, which was maybe my favorite moment of SmackDown altogether, when they're like, oh, hey guys, what's up? Yeah, so apparently, well, you guys were looking for somebody to punch you in the face, right? Well, a lot of people apparently were jumping at the chance to punch you in the face. And he says it reminded him about like a Mr. Belding versus Zack and Slater sort of thing. And it's just the perfect description, because it's exactly what it felt like. It's like, oh, well, fine. Like, oh, come on, foiled again. We get that type of genius stuff. And then the other show, we just get this nonsensical bullshit half the time, and it drives me crazy. I think that's why it drives me crazy so much, is because it can be so good in some places, and then just so bad in others.
On the flip side, you had nerd.
We did, but we'll get to Raw. We'll get to Raw. We'll got to go through SmackDown first. The women's match was all right. Nothing really much to see there. We just kind of put some things through. We had a match. Good. Get them on there. Get them out. What else happened on SmackDown again?
Pulp Fashion.
Right. We got that segment with Daniel Bryan, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn. And then we got Pulp Fashion right afterwards, which at the beginning was looking pretty rough.
Lola, go ahead.
Oh, okay. So when they originally had tweeted out last week that it was supposed to happen, and then they canceled it, and then we get it this week.
And I'm fine the reason that they canceled it, because we got number one contender stuff that we had to take care of.
Number one contender?
Number one contender?
Number one contender?
Number one contender?
That noise you guys made, I'm not gonna even comment.
It's an old New Day thing before they were New Day.
Yeah.
Even with the plate of sausages.
Yes. WWE.com is like a hidden gem when it comes to that show.
Anyway.
With Pulp Fashion, Tyler Breeze dressed up as a woman, it shouldn't be as satisfying as it is, number one. I'm just saying. But the thing is, too, the Ascension, the dynamic we have between Breeze and the Ascension is amazing. They just want friendship. They just want.
Why you guys keep following us?
They're putting up shenanigans for friendship.
Yeah.
Let the Ball Golf be friends with Breezango.
We'll help you save his life, but you got to be best friends with us. Deal? Deal.
Come on, you guys didn't even follow. You didn't even solve that last case. It was obviously the brother. Ah!
Obviously the Bludgeon Brothers. Ah! Did you know he's allergic to pickles?
And I just love that they were just smashing every little goofy pulp, because it was rough for a bit.
So
it's like
campy.
we have to make
Super
it
camp.
fit in, like get all the dumb jokes in.
Yeah.
But then once they got all that done, it started coming together and being amazing again. Because for a minute there, I was ready.
Moment we were like, Ooh, what are you guys doing?
Yeah, for a moment there, I got scared and I thought it was going to be terrible. And then they brought it around, and it's still the greatest thing on TV.
You want to save his life? Inject him with this. It's this giant fake hypodermic needle. Like, what the hell is that?
Jordan and Gable had a match, correct? Am I wrong?
Did they have a match?
I don't know. I
They had
don't
a
remember.
promo with Uso.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. They had a little backstage with the. You have all the notes over there. What else happened on SmackDown?
So with the just real quick with the Chad Gable, Shelton Benjamin cutting a promo on the Usos, I love Chad Gable. Every week I tweet about how adorable he is. That's besides the point because it's true. But Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin, I like them as a team, and it's with the number one contender spot that they earned in that Battle Royale or whatever a couple weeks ago.
With cheese.
I would have preferred to see someone else win it, but I'm glad that it was them. But the thing is, also on SmackDown, we got a women's match between Natalya, Tamina, and Lana versus Naomi, Charlotte, and Becky.
Yeah, I kind of went through that. We kind of just. There's not
Yeah.
really much to say there about
Yeah.
that match. Kind of happened. Lana got pinned, and we didn't get to hear that sweet, sweet MIDI saxophone intro.
It was a little disappointing. They cut a little short.
Because they thought they had to cut time from
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan's intro, and I completely understood. Got that hard out for Chrisley.
That's what it was. They rushed that match, and then at the end of the day, they said, "Oh shit, we still have 2 minutes, guys. Get out there and kill them real quick. Kill that real quick."
And Kevin Owens. Well, what else was more importantly? What was I'm trying to get to the other stuff before we get to the end part of SmackDown. What else was on that show? It just happened last week.
You saw Sin Cara, which was weird.
Yeah, I don't know how that came from.
Hey, I'm gonna go out and say that if you look hard enough, you will find actual live footage of Dolph Ziggler and Sin Cara putting on a hell of a lucha match on a live show that only has like maybe 30 seconds of cell phone footage out there. Really cool things can happen with them when they can actually do something with that with Sin Cara besides a count out, a victory over Baron Corbin.
That means he's going to stick around, and we're going to get Sin Cara versus Baron Corbin. You know that, right? We're getting that at least next week.
I'm pretty sure Baron Corbin has stomped Sin Cara before, and
Yes,
he will essentially
he should stomp him again.
We'll do it again. He's one of those three guys that he beat multiple times, and he's on Talking Smack like, Daniel, look at this. Look at the footage right here. What I'm doing is I'm taking Swagger's head, and I'm just blasting his dome with my elbow. You see that? I just beat a former world champion in 2 minutes. Why don't I deserve a title shot?
Yeah. Yeah, it's great. I just don't need Sin Cara on my team. Look, the guy that's playing Sin Cara doesn't need to be Sin Cara anymore. If Sin Cara disappeared, no one would care.
No, I don't think so, to be honest.
One thing I will say with Sin Cara, he looked like a rip-off Lucha Spider-Man.
Yeah, he looked like Spider-Man that you would see in Times Square, but blue.
He changed, different mask, no eye holes were punched in. He had like
so he doesn't.
Yeah, it's some like it looked like he borrowed like Pentagon Junior's fucking creepy eye. So it was really weird. It's like what's going on here?
I don't know. Sin Cara was on TV, so good for him, I guess.
Yeah, you got it on TV.
One thing I don't understand. One thing I don't understand. What is Jinder thinking by challenging Brock Lesnar?
I don't know.
I thought that was a
dark
for a second. I'm like, no. Where's AJ? Okay, God, thank God AJ's here. And then afterwards, they're like, Brock will respond to it. I'm like, no, don't return that phone call. It was a joke. We don't need that right now. We need AJ Jinder.
Yeah. When you start talking all that shit and you haven't beaten AJ Styles, one of the last guys to hold that title before you, no, he still works here. You have to deal with that guy. All right, you beat Randy. You beat.
It feels like they're booking ahead, which annoys me immediately because I'm like, wait a minute, you still need to beat AJ Styles before you even get in the same ring as Brock Lesnar.
Right.
There's no point.
Right. I don't know, man.
That's the only thing that bothered me about that promo. It was like,
They're gonna.
whoa.
What they're doing is they just want to have both the champions fight each other at Survivor Series
Yeah.
to make a
They're gonna have
crossover
some
thing.
sort of little because that's what Survivor Series.
Because here's what they're gonna
crossover.
here's what they're gonna pull out of the woodwork. It's gonna be we're really competing against each other now. No, you're competing against each other once this year. If you really wanted to make that storyline go, you would bring that up all the time.
Yeah.
You would bring up the fact that Raw sucks dicks every so often. You know what I mean?
Well, it was.
They stopped that storyline 3 months after they started it.
I think that and Talking Smack going away, so you couldn't hear. Oh, you don't. What about Champion of the Galactic Universe? How about
Right.
that part?
It's just one of those things. Like, if you really wanted to make that Raw versus SmackDown thing a thing, the reason that we got a brand split at the very beginning was what? Vince wanted to see his kids compete, right?
Yeah.
When's the last time you've seen Stephanie on screen in a GM style role for any significant amount of time?
She doesn't need to be a GM, but
You know what I mean.
To play some sort of role would be great. Like, do you remember the State of the Universe? You remember
Yeah.
that? Remember
Yeah,
that bit
it was
they
great.
did on the network?
It was great.
It was a cool segment, but that was 8 months ago, and they haven't done it since.
It was one of those things where it was just Shane and Stephanie trying to get them, and remember to talk about Sunday. No, these guys are having it out. Shut the fuck up
Yeah.
and let it happen. Like, we know what's happening Sunday. Let these two go at it, because I need them to go at it
This
right
is how
now.
Talking Smack works. Shut up. Don't ruin it.
You have DB don't give a fuck, and then
Yeah.
Mick Foley, who can leave and come back whenever he
Yeah,
wants.
that was the best
Let's
part
go.
about it. It was two baby faces who heavily disagreed on a couple things go at it. I was just like, wait, this is interesting. I want to know more.
But more importantly, we have to talk about... No, shut up, Shane. Get out of here.
Get out of here, fucking robot.
But that's my point. Like, you could have more things like that, and they just don't. So when you have this show up at Survivor Series, they're going to push this Raw versus SmackDown feud thing, and they're going to use this as a Universal title versus the World title. And there's no way that Jinder should beat Brock Lesnar.
It is pro wrestling.
I know it's pro wrestling, but if Jinder wins, you're going to get a lot of shit from a lot of people, first off. I understand that the whole, India thing is going on,
I don't
but
see an actual pinfall happening. That's going to end wonky.
But the thing is, like, with Brock beating Jinder, Brock is never there. We barely
Right.
even remember what the Universal title looks like, so it's a lose-lose situation no matter who wins.
Right.
It's
What,
like, we're
what
not
does
gonna
Brock
see-
gain from beating him? Really nothing.
but
Yeah.
Jinder gains way more than
Way
he
more by
probably
beating Brock.
than most people probably think he should, because I'd say a good 75% of WWE fans want Jinder just to be out of here right now, because nobody wants it anymore.
I
We're
don't know
done.
about
We're just done.
75%, but
Maybe the American audience. Maybe the percentage that we're getting for the audience that wants Jinder to have it are all reside in one country.
with the right things can happen, and you will forget about the entire month of September. That's
The right
really
things have to
the
happen.
Right things need to happen, but you will forget about it.
What
I'm hoping for.
I don't know.
I'm trying to forget.
SmackDown's been pretty good, so I can't really, outside of like the one little dark spots, like some of the Jinder things. It's not Brock Lesnar.
Did you have any more thoughts on SmackDown before we're moving on? Because
I love the end of the show. It's like, oh my god, guys, we're 3 minutes short. Go out there and kill some time. Oh no, that was the other thing, because we ended up with a tag match versus Shinsuke Nakamura and Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Yeah.
yeah.
Give me that.
I've been waiting
Sure.
years for this.
Yeah. And then we got Rusev Day is serious business.
Oh yeah. It's Rusev. Not now.
Yeah. I mean, you've got 3 guys who we've been wanting to see on this screen together for how long? Kevin
Ever.
Owens, Sami Zayn, Shinsuke Nakamura. Yeah, that was a wrestling nerd's wet dream for a long time.
Yeah.
Like, it would never fucking. We were hoping to God that it would happen. Guess what? It happened yesterday. And then we threw Randy Orton in there, because if you need to throw somebody in to make that work a little bit better, I'm okay with Randy Orton in there. He hasn't wrestled any of them.
No.
Maybe Sami Zayn one time, and then Shinsuke once before that.
That's the reason why Randy stomped Rusev the way he did, is to put him over a little bit. So when this came up, who's the first person he gives a win to?
Sami Zayn?
Sami Zayn.
Right in the
got a
ding-ding.
Motherfucking win. And he
Worth
beat
it.
Randy Orton.
Yeah.
This is what happens when you take control of your career. Cool
Two
shit
things.
happens.
I'm sensing the wet dream thing as a recurring theme.
I
And
guess
number
so.
two,
It got brought up. It got brought up, so I guess we're never gonna let it go. I think
And-
we'll do them all at once. I guess when we talk about Raw and all the other things, because this will probably take 15, 20 minutes. So let's do it, folks.
It's time for the World Heavyweight Podcast.
What?
Stone Cold Locks.
What? And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.
I'll let that drop down a little bit. If it does it. Yeah, I know. I know. Stone Cold Locks, hashtag Stone Cold Locks. Follow the show at the WHPC on Twitter. We will put up the polls so you can get your votes in about 2 hours before the pay-per-view starts. I'm not annoyed, but it just feels like, I'm actually really annoyed about Monday Night Raw. But it's just, I want some breathing room. This should be some breathing room time. Like, I shouldn't have another pay-per-view this weekend.
Well, after TLC, we're getting a little break before
Survivor Series, yeah. There is a pre-show match because I guess the other big rumory sort of thing that's been going around is Nia Jax is unhappy and she's got a little bit of a leave of absence is what came up, I heard earlier today. If you want to believe the rumors that are out there, for the most part, a lot of them are saying it just seems that she's not going to be on TV for a little bit. That's all I can gather from it. But again, that's if you believe the rumors that are out there.
Sports Illustrated said possibly with creative direction and pay scale. So that's business stuff. So hopefully they could just square it away, kind of like with Neville. Neville's mostly business stuff. If they could square that away, that would be fantastic.
I have a feeling if what is happening with Neville is to be all believed, they're just figuring out terms of release.
Possibly.
Like that's really what's going on there, and if everything sort of kind of is pointing in that direction. But
I'd
anyway,
be pretty mad if I wasn't getting DVD money.
I would too. But the pre-show match, we end up getting Alicia Fox versus Sasha Banks
We don't do pre-shows.
I'm just letting the people know what's out there. I wasn't saying we're getting into the pre-show. I'm saying to start off TLC, we're going to have a pre-show match with Alicia Fox and Sasha Banks, who Alicia Fox has a new shirt. She's got a shirt now.
We don't need a match then. Good
There
night,
you
folks.
Crazy like a fox, if you want to get it, it's on the WWE shop. Not a terrible shirt.
Yeah,
Better than
not at all.
Neville's.
Way better than Neville's.
But let's start with the
Ladies.
spoiler alert. No one is ready. No one's ready. Just write it down now, Josh.
Is it even a question?
No one's ready.
Do we have to do the locks for this?
No one's ready. No one's ready. We've been saying it for a month.
Howard for Asuka, myself for Asuka.
You're picking Asuka, right?
I want to see Emma get murdered, so yes.
I started the women's revolution. You are gonna get your ass.
Yeah, I have to hold you guys off this week because I won last time, so I'm trying to keep that one. Yeah, there's no way. Unless they do the weird thing of where Asuka just immediately loses in her first team, which isn't going to happen.
Just shut off the pay-per-view when that happens.
If
be
we
like,
start this show
no.
and Asuka loses to Emma, first thing I'm not watching Raw.
Nope.
I won't watch the rest of the show.
Nope.
I will not watch the rest of the show if that happens. I'd worry about. You'd have to seriously worry about me canceling.
Just pull the fire alarm, vacate the building, fill it with gasoline, and burn it down.
Yeah, it would be. There's no way.
Yeah.
There's no way.
I would have to not watch wrestling for a week if that happened. That's exactly what I would do. I'd be like, nope, off.
There's a lot of cruiserweights on this
some
show.
South Park in the meantime.
There's a lot of cruiserweight matches on this show too.
There's some cruiserweight
The
action.
Brian Hendrick and Jack Gallagher are apparently in a match versus Cedric Alexander and Rich Swann. I have no idea what's going on here.
You don't watch the show.
No idea. No, I watched every single minute of
205
Monday
Live.
Night Raw this week.
205 Live.
Sure. Who's the bad guy? I have no idea what's going on here. You fill me in. Does anybody watch 205 Live?
Yes.
Nope.
Hey, I only recently
Crickets.
started watching. I only just recently. That was a terrible whistle.
I know. I'm not saying
only
I
just
can't make
recently
cricket
started
noises.
rewatching it because it's now the Zoe show.
Sure.
Yeah.
I have no idea the story here. Do you?
All I know is supposedly that Jack Gallagher pretended like he was going to save someone and then turned bad guy. It doesn't make any sense to me. All I know is Drew Gulak is amazing.
Yes,
That's all I'm gonna say.
Your pick?
Kendrick and Gallagher.
Ooh.
Josh? Yeah, you don't even know. It's like, well, I'll pick opposite. I'll do Alexander and Swan just
yeah,
cause.
me too.
Just cause. I have no idea why. Because everything else is booked on this show the exact same way. Why? Just cause. Is there a reason for this? Nope.
No, there is a story,
Nope.
but I haven't watched enough 205 Live to go back that far back. Like, I wasn't watching during when Gallagher's real heel turn. I only watched after when Enzo became champion.
Sticking with the cruiserweights, you're Kalisto, your new cruiserweight champion. But if he leaves this match, he could still be the new cruiserweight champion. Versus Enzo Amore, who apparently has friends 1 week after the entire division hated him.
Yes.
Which they did not explain at all. And all of a sudden, 5 guys started jumping Kalisto.
Lola, why did Enzo have backup Monday night?
He's got to save that stripper money for something, apparently.
See, he's got stacks of cash taller than Kalisto, but Howard here needed it spelled out for him.
I think a lot of people
I paid
need to
these
be,
sons of bitches.
a lot of people need to be told that sometimes. I'm not the only one that didn't think this was confusing. There's 5 guys that weren't here last week that started beating the hell up out of somebody for like I can't even speak. It's driving me crazy.
No, it's the same group of heels that were in the ring kicking the crap out of Zoe a couple of weeks ago. But when suddenly those that cash starts showing up, that merch money starts showing up. Oh, all right, well, I guess we can have a little bit of business.
Didn't make it clear. That's for sure. Who do you got?
I'll make my choice crystal clear for you. Enzo. He's getting that motherfucking belt back. Because without it, it's such a lame show.
Lola?
I hate to say it, it makes me want to throw up at Enzo.
Fuck it, I'll go with Kalisto.
All right, he's going with the.
He's probably gonna lose.
Or Gazy.
Oh, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's one of those like I don't know.
Let's throw it out.
I don't know. We'll stay with the men, sort of, with the Demon Finn Balor versus Sister Abigail Bray Wyatt. They deserve so much better.
Oh.
They deserve so much better. Why couldn't they have just done the demon thing that they did with him backstage? It would have made more sense, wouldn't it?
No idea.
Like,
well, yeah.
instead of having him stand in the ring and then clip to a pre-packaged little... like, I don't know how that translated in if you were in the arena.
I don't know.
Because do a spooky backstage thing with Finn Balor instead of Bray Wyatt, and then do the sweepy thing with the Star Wipe.
I don't know how you
Star
could
Wipe.
be...
Star Wipe. Star Wipe.
I don't know how you could be in Gorilla looking at the monitor going, yeah, this is good. I'm like, it felt like it was just taking way too long.
This whole thing is... Did they change the Sister Abigail voice on the package?
They did.
Yeah,
they
okay,
did.
it wasn't crazy. It sounds worse.
It wasn't so hot the first time.
It sounds like a chipmunk.
Now I agree with you. Now it definitely does. It kind of sounded okay before. For the amount of people that were shitting on it, it sounds really bad now. Like, this is another one of those things where these guys all deserve better. Like, it's kind of good, but it's kind of trash, and it's driving me crazy. And the Finn Balor promos are the same thing every week.
They are getting there, yeah.
They're literally the same thing.
I didn't hear anything.
Insert city name is Balor Club.
Yes.
I'm fighting Bray Wyatt.
Yes.
I'm going to be the demon.
I have my own demon. It fears nothing. We already established this.
We got this, Finn.
Yes.
Like, come on.
Are you going to beat him like you did last time?
But that's what I mean. Like, go ahead.
As much as I love Finn, he can't cut a promo. Or the stuff that they're giving him to work with is...
He can cut a promo.
He can't cut a promo, Lola. The only problem is the promos they're making him cut
are bad.
Crap. They're not that good. It's just it's the Bailey situation. Bailey can cut a decent promo if you give her a decent promo. If you give her a garbage promo, it's going to be garbage.
Right. We've seen what these people can do.
You know,
they've had monster runs in NXT that were amazing.
The some of these Raw storylines are like that Will Ferrell movie, The House. Stellar cast, but garbage writing, and that's why that movie did hot trash.
16%. I didn't realize how bad it did.
It did $8 million out of a $8.5 million opening weekend with a $40 million budget. Good Lord.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. This is kind of like that.
So who you guys got? Demon or Sister Abigail?
Demon. Just Demon.
I'm going against my gut, but I gotta say Bray.
This is that one win he gets. Or I'm sorry, this is the second win he gets.
Well, this is match 3 out of the feud, right?
I think it is.
Because Finn won the last one, and Finn won the first one, didn't he? Yeah, because he won when he was the demon, and he won when he was the man. I'm not crazy,
He
right?
lost one, but maybe it wasn't a match. Maybe it wasn't.
I'm pretty sure that Finn Balor's got a bit of a winning streak here.
I tell you what, you go to the numbers anytime, there's not going to be a ton of W in Bray's column.
It's not going to be a lot. No,
it's very lopsided.
Then I'm going with the Demon this time. The Demon shouldn't be losing here to a... I don't know what they're going for here anymore.
God damn it, what was the reference again? It was a
I don't
bait.
even know. Oh, a Psycho reference.
Yes. He's going to go
Norman Bates.
Norman Bates on us. Like, yeah, get out of here.
Back to the...
Ladies.
Your WWE Women's Championship on the line. Excuse me, Raw Women's Championship on the line. Alexa versus Mickie James. Fun story. I'm enjoying this.
Oh, that rang in my skull. What were you saying?
Alexa Bliss versus Mickie James. No special stipulation for... You see, that's the thing. Normally TLC has a bunch of stipulations on these matches. Remember when they had tables, ladders, chairs, and stairs? And they just jammed a bunch of stipulations and all that.
Goofier.
At least, here's the thing. At least with this show, we don't have a lot of goofy stipulations jammed in for no reason for scheduled violence.
7 matches, including the pre-show. Yeah. So that's
and only one match has a stipulation, but we'll get there. We're getting there. Alexa Bliss versus Mickie James. Fun. This story's been fun. I've liked this. The making fun of Mickie for being old and stuff. It's going over relatively well considering some of the other things that we're getting. So I like it. Mickie James has been getting to wrestle. Alexa Bliss has been getting to wrestle. They're going to put on a good show. We're going to have a good match. And Alexa should stay your women's champion.
Absolutely.
I think so. I mean, as much as I love Mickie James, and she's going to be a future Hall of Famer, and if that's old, I don't want to, like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. She's not that old.
No.
It comes down to the one question is, who do you want to see Asuka beat for the title? That's really what it comes down to.
She's not getting a title match next.
She's not getting it next, but it's coming, and it's coming fast. Nobody's ready.
No one's ready?
No one's
ready. Lola?
I really want to see Mickie James win. So I'm going to go with Mickie.
I'd like to see her win too, but I don't know. Alexa's your star here, right? I'm not crazy in saying that.
I mean, does it do much for Mickie to add now a 7th title reign when Alexa is your giant star, and anytime she doesn't have the title, I feel like that title loses a little bit of its shine when she doesn't have it.
She's had the title for how long?
Since after WrestleMania, I think.
No Mercy. She kept it. She blah blah blah. Great Balls of Fire. She got SummerSlam. She dropped to Banks and then won it back right after.
She dropped it to Banks on SummerSlam.
Yeah, and then a week later she took it back.
And we all know that. We all know Sasha can't keep it.
Right.
Yoink.
Right.
That's right.
So she's had it a while. Yeah. So I say keep the run on her. Like no one is ready.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's going to hang on to it and then lose it as one of the longer reigning women's champions to no one's ready. No one's ready for Asuka.
She's the perfect height for that buzzsaw kick. That's right.
Yep. I just want Asuka to come in, beat Emma this time. Next month, beat somebody else. Have her on Team Raw to buzzsaw through everybody on SmackDown, and then go, oh, yeah, so I beat everybody here at Survivor Series.
I need a Survivor Series match where it's like the entire women's division versus Asuka.
Sign me up.
Talk about it. Now that is a Survivor Series match. Will you survive? And that's
Will you survive Asuka?
Yes, that's a good question.
Can you survive Asuka?
15 minutes with Asuka. Have that as a challenge.
That goes with our Braun Strowman idea that we had. Like, can you survive Braun? What they did with Sammy a little bit. All right, so we're all going. No, we're going with Alexa. She's going with Mickie James, and I think we only have one match left, right?
Yep, and that would be the Shield, or a handicap match. Sorry, handicap TLC match with the Shield, Braun against Braun, Kane, The Miz, and The Bar.
So Monday Night Raw started off really well for me. We got the Shield coming out. They came out through the crowd. They did all the things. The only thing I really had a problem with was, hey, you guys kind of have tag titles. If you want to really show that you're dominant, you have titles that prove that, right? Show them off. It's like, oh, we're so dominant. Oh, I have a title here.
Yeah,
that shows how.
But they're not competing in a tag team match. They're competing in.
They were later that night. But my point is, if you're going to talk shit and you have props to prove how much hot shit you are talking, then use them. But anyway, that's just a small nitpicky thing.
Hey, man,
that's fine.
Shield gear is heavy. You can't come out with the Shield and the tag titles every time, man. It's exhausting.
Anyway, so we're out there. We're having a great time. Dean cuts the greatest promo I've seen from Dean in forever.
Cuts a classic Dean promo.
Yeah, that's the Dean I wanted the entire singles run, and they wouldn't give it to us.
Nope.
Because they won't let him just do his thing until he's with like 7 other dudes. And then this turns into a giant clusterfuck somehow during the course of the evening. I don't know how. What happened to everybody's banned from ringside? That's what I wanted to know. There's
nobody. They broke the rules.
And nothing happened for it.
Yep.
First off.
Oh, no, they broke the rules, but they ended up brawling out of the arena. So at that point, it's just like, well, it took care of itself.
All right. So that happens. We get a tag match for the tag titles for reasons. I guess they needed to have a tag match.
Well, they're not doing it on Sunday. That's why.
know, which is still ridiculous to me, but at least they had the match. They won pretty clean, right?
Yeah.
So no big deal. Whatever. Fine. I still don't understand why Braun Strowman is really in this match. But then, at the end of everything, I guess let's just add Kane into the mix. Why? Because fuck you, that's why. That's the only reason I could think of. There's no fucking reason that Kane should be involved in this match.
Your thoughts?
You can give me the Undertaker nonsense, but that's the weakest sack of shit I've ever seen, because there's no reason that he should come back now as the 19th guy in a match that no one gives, well, a lot of people care about, but that doesn't make any sense. Why is Kane here?
I will say, like,
Exactly.
Let him talk. Let him talk.
It would have made not a lot of sense, but a little bit of sense if they brought back Corporate Kane to fit in with Miz's personality in the Mistrage. It would have made a lot more sense. Also, on the flip side of that, with the Shield, yes, I like the Shield. Yes, I lost my mind. Yes, I lost my shit whenever they did the crowd entrance. They came out in the vest.
Oh yeah, and they come out through the ramp for the tag match. Why? I thought we're doing the crowd thing now again. Because they're the Shield, and they came up by the... I don't know. Go on.
But, like, I do like the Shield, but, again, it's... As them kind of all technically as faces, it's awkward. But I will say, as them... With them as a team again, you could tell there was a flame ignited under their asses, especially with Dean. So, I mean, as long as we keep getting somewhat decent promos, and I will say I will be more on board with the Shield if they give us the shitty backstage kind of camera promos that we got back in the day when the Shield first started. But also, I don't think they're going to last very long after TLC.
No, the reason I'm not liking this as much is because it just feels like we don't have a story. We need to sell some extra T-shirts because we lose money during this time, and that's not what I'm watching wrestling for. I get enough stuff, enough things that are trying to milk me for fucking money, and I feel like that's what they're trying to do for me on this show right now. And I don't jingle the cool shiny thing that I loved and water it down just to try and get me to buy more shit from you. And that's what this feels like a lot.
Welcome to the wrestling.
I'm fine.
Industry.
You can still do that and still do cool things and do all the stuff.
This is how you bring back an old act that they literally turned on each other 3 years ago, and they went completely separate directions. Roman, you could say Seth and Roman had better singles runs than Dean had at times, especially with the world title, which kind of faltered. But they're together again because.
What was your reaction when you saw Kane come out?
Well, the problem is I had it spoiled to me before I saw it. So my immediate thought was, didn't he get elected mayor?
Mine was
that was my first thought too.
right. It was a lot of people's thought,
Isn't
but
he busy?
Mine was, Kane. What the hell's Kane doing here? Not. Kane. What the hell's Kane doing here?
You got to take into context everything leading up to it. First of all, Axel's super over in Seattle. Let's point that. Not Seattle. Sorry, Portland. Let's point that out. And the little backstage segment where he got his ass. We need a forklift driver. No, just yank him off, stupid.
And speaking of Alicia Fox, you can't push me. I'm a referee. Greatest line of the week. Greatest line of the week.
Someone went to acting class.
And the one thing that we missed from Monday Night Raw was nerds. The greatest trio that have ever graced the WWE screen as Elias and the Club.
It was the warm-up in Elias going, actually, that was pretty good. You're like, yeah, thanks.
It's the bright spots of Raw. But the Shield versus this clusterfuck of people now.
Look.
Come on.
Look, the Shield beat Evolution.
I understand that.
There's nobody else they have right off the bat that's going to come close to that. The best thing they can do is you got a 400-pound killing machine named Braun. You got another 350-pound.
That's my point.
Former killing
what
machine.
What do you need Kane for?
Because Bo's out.
So
Curtis apparently was written off because he's not going to be in this match for whatever reason.
That's fine.
So Miz needed a fifth guy.
No, he didn't.
Who?
Braun counts as three.
No. Like the Miz said, words matter. You say you could take on 5 guys? Fine, I'll got 5 guys. It just turns out my 5th guy was Plan C. Who else could have been? Mark Henry?
It's just so.
Who else could have been?
It didn't have to be anybody. Is my point.
No.
It didn't have to be a 5th guy.
Miz kicked and screamed until he got his 5th guy, like Josh said, and I do understand that. But you don't need Kane. And like you said, Braun can destroy everybody if he really wants to.
He's destroyed Kane multiple times.
Does it feel like the odds are stacked against the Shield? 5 guys against 3.
It does, but
that's the point. Don't get me wrong.
We don't really...
It's kind of weak sauce. Don't get me wrong. The sauce, it's a little weak. It's a little watery. But guess what? There's nobody else they have right now they could throw against the Shield that's going to be as...
If they actually booked Gallows and Anderson and with AJ well, because when we were doing the thing we were talking about earlier with the WWE 2K cross things, they have a club entrance with them 2 Sweeting with AJ and everything.
No cease and desist over here.
They all work here. Like, why? You have.
I know.
You can have this other 3 faction thing.
That is the mind-boggling moment Wait, he's got
Because it's mind-boggling.
You sent out cease and desist letters because guys are making money with an intellectual property. Meanwhile, you have guys who made money on the indies with that insane
You have
property,
4 people,
and you're not doing a damn thing with them.
You have Finn Balor on this show.
See,
could
that-
you imagine that?
I'm glad you made
Finn
that
Balor
observation.
And, oh my God!
Tranquilo, we will get there. That's what needs to happen, and everyone knows it.
The Shield-
club needs to reform with AJ, Gallows, and Anderson, and you know what? Probably Finn too. And that would be
way better
that
than
would
this main
be
event.
a massive main
I'd
event.
be jerking off right now over this main event if that was the main event.
You don't want to.
Sorry, I apologize.
Whoa! Get a Kleenex.
Boo.
You don't want to drop. You don't want to drop that load this late in the season.
But you know what I mean? Like, you've got so many other options. You don't need a 5th. This got so convoluted. It started off so well at the beginning of Raw, and I forgot who said it. It might have even been you, Lola. That's like, watch, this show's gonna. What's that?
That was definitely me, because I was like, it's gonna tank after the first hour.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you detect this was going to be a stinker, Lola?
Oh, she certainly did, sir. She gave it a preemptive.
Michael Cole verbatim said this could be one of the greatest Raws of all time.
No, God!
I need some decorum.
No, God, please, no! No!
Well, I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
Yeah, man. Well, who do you have?
Yeah, we gotta get the picks.
We have to close this
We
out.
gotta wrap this. We gotta wrap this thing up.
Wrap this son of a bitch up.
Going over on time. Lola, you first. Ladies first.
Shield.
Yeah, I would assume that the Shield has to win, right? Or this could be one of. I don't know. Because Braun Strowman hasn't lost to anybody. He hasn't even really lost to Roman Reigns, right? Technically, he's got the W's over him.
Because Braun's losses are few and far between.
Right.
His losses are mostly DQs.
And then you add Kane, and the Miz being a sneaky dick. Is this going to be a pinfall match? Is this going to be a great? If we're climbing
handicap TLC, it's first pinfall.
Is that what they said?
That's what a TLC match is. First pinfall.
No, TLC matches are usually you climb the ladder for a briefcasey type thing or a title.
No. Tables, ladders, and chairs means we are using these. These are all legal.
Yeah, no, but there's usually a ladder match with the chairs and table stipulation thrown in.
Well, that's not happening.
Well, I'm just saying.
It's going to be a battle to first pinfall.
I really hope they just throw in the titles just for the fuck of it, because why not at this point? Like, you've done everything else besides
Well,
that.
that's another thing, though. Real quick, or not to take too long, but do you need the Miz to lose the Intercontinental Championship?
No, he should win, and so should the Bar.
Does Roman need the IC title just like he needed the US
That's why
title?
the Shield should lose and give up all their titles to everybody else, because they're fucking retarded.
So
with this
exactly
shit.
that. How do you have one title on
I
one
don't
side
know.
and another set of titles
That's
on
what
another?
I'm
So you
saying!
can't have
They're
them
running
title
in
versus
circles.
title.
It's just ridiculous.
Can't have title versus title. I need order. I need order in the court.
Can we have some decorum, please?
Thank you. See, I told you could use that spot.
I guess I'll go with the Shield, but that's my point. It's like you got Braun Strowman, who should theoretically be able to beat the Shield on his own. Then you add Kane. Then you add the Bar. And you add the Miz. This is a clusterfuck.
It doesn't look like the Shield's going to win. But you know what? I'm going with the moneymaker and not the Miz. I mean Shield. I just agree with all you guys that I hope it's not short term. I hope this sticks out for at least a while.
This seems like
when they go separate ways, they literally split on their own. I don't need anybody turning on anybody again.
Right.
So,
I agree. You guys both picked the Shield, so I'm not going to pick the Shield then.
Let me scratch that off.
Because
It's not locked in yet.
I'm now because why? Because that's why. The only reason this match exists is because they booked the match before they got there. They booked the match, and they're like, "Oh, we need a match. Let's throw all these guys together and make it the main event." And they didn't think of a way to get there, and that's why I'm so angry. Is because they didn't put the pieces together.
That is an
they
annoying
just threw
thing
it together.
when they announced the match coming up, but they haven't built anything upon it yet. They
Right.
haven't hammered all the details.
Right, and
That
they
is annoying.
just shit the details out on this canvas as it came out every Monday night.
Dropping some heat.
Yeah, lots of heat everywhere.
Sunday night heat.
Yuck.
Stinker like the dogs.
Right. Boo.
Man, those dogs stink.
All right, that's it. Stone Cold Locks at the WHPC on Twitter. Follow us there. Get in on the voting. Yeah, we'll lock it all up. That's done. I don't have the outro for it because it's just Stone Cold music. So if you just want to do that, just go ahead and put that in there. At the WHPC on
Slowly
Twitter,
turning into the Edge of Christian show. That's just what's going to happen.
Facebook.com/World Heavyweight Podcast. You can follow her over there at Lola_Bradbury. Do you do also tweeting for some other things or just yourself? I forget what you're doing these days. Get all your plugs in.
Yeah.
Get your shit in.
Basically, I'm going to try to keep up with my Periscope recaps. No really consistency with the actual times or dates. I'll post up when I'm going to do more recaps, but tomorrow at 5 p.m. I'll be going over Raw and SmackDown Live.
Thursday.
Probably.
If you're listening to this live.
Yeah. Oh, well.
I gotta, you just gotta put it out there so people actually have the right day and time because this will probably go up hopefully later today. But if you're not listening today, it'll be Thursday when that goes up each time.
Yeah, tomorrow 5 p.m. going over Raw and SmackDown Live. Gonna be bitching a lot about Raw.
There you
go.
And
I think that's pretty much it.
At the WHPC at Twitter again, Facebook.com/World Heavyweight Podcast. I'm Howie Farewell.
That's Josh.
That over there is Josh Rivera. We'll see you next week.
Stadler?
Yeah, what?
Is that it?
Yes, it's over. How'd you like it?
I don't know. I slept through the whole thing.
Well, you didn't miss much.